So in this segment, it's going to be a short one. We're going to be talking about fishermen continuing to complain about Brexit. So here we've got this guy. I don't know, you might recognise him. We've done another video about him because he seems to be one of the more famous ones kind of complaining about it. He's a Scottish fisherman and he's saying, Brexit update, 38 pages of paperwork today to export to France, over £500 in extra costs per shipment, absolute madness. To be fair, there are other fishing companies like we spoke about before who have had to do 72 pages per lorry. So, he sounds like he's a bit lucky in this respect. £500 in extra costs. Obviously a lot of money per shipment. We were told none of this would happen pre-Brexit, and now it's crippling businesses around the world when, people were warned about stuff like this. And we were told it's Project Fear. There was that one Brexiteer who said, absolutely nobody is talking about our place in the single market. That would be madness. And then obviously we left. That was a bad impression of him. I'm not sure which one he was. And then you've got, people obviously correcting him. Someone called Michael M, who's about on Twitter saying that, these are not new rules, but existing rules. These are rules the UK actually helped to set up, some of them at least. Whatever with any free trade agreement, these rules, paperwork always applied. Even Canadian exporters have to adhere to paperwork within, the EU, even though, the CETA deal exists. So, there's no tariffs, and, quotas on our deal, but there are still paperwork checks, and you've got the great Dr. Anna Jowazeska saying that. She posted something similar. We'll look at her tweet as well. Not many, pretty much everyone who works in trade and logistics, actually warned about this stuff. Actual experts within the industry warned about this stuff. There was the former head of the WTO. He's a French gentleman. I can't remember his name. He even warned about this stuff as well. Is his name like Pascal Lamy? It might be something like Pascal Lamy. I'll check that in post. As none of it is a surprise, all was predictable and a clear consequence of UK's decisions. And there was this image here of his fishing company supporting Brexit. I don't know if he's an employee or a boss or whatever, but he wanted to leave the EU. There was a separate picture. There was a picture of him, saying that he retweeted a tweet from someone else saying that these aren't problems. These are problems these are not Brexit problems, because if we exited on WTO terms, we wouldn't have these issues. Mate, if we exited on WTO terms, you'd be paying tariffs as well. And the tariff amounts you'd be paying are quite high. So I would consider yourself lucky you do not have to pay tariffs, especially considering the majority of fishermen voted for Brexit. And if we actually look at what the good doctor has said, she says, well, about his tweet, it's not entirely true now, is it? The UK government and mainstream media have not prepared companies for additional red tape, but almost every single trade and logistics expert has talked about it and was told they were a Ramona and spreading Project Fear. So, the people who actually warned about the situation that could arise from Brexit were called Project Fear and were told they don't believe in the country. Or maybe this gentleman here is not believing hard enough in his company, because evidently we are told we need to believe in the country, be patriotic and all this stuff, and believe in the process, like with some sort of football club. Well, this is Project Reality now, friend. And when it comes to these guys, their own bad energy was their undoing, because they voted for Brexit. They voted because they wanted more access to quotas. They voted to damage, European fishermen, and it turned out we were the ones getting damaged, because they're benefiting greatly from this Brexit deal, because they've got access now to better quotas. And the simple fact is, fishermen are going directly to EU countries in some respects to process their fish there, so they're getting access to more fish within those countries, and it's not coming out of their quota; it's coming out of our quota. So that's impacting not just fishermen within the country, this deal, but it's affecting fish processing companies. It's affecting fishmongers as well. And so, these people voted for this deal, or maybe not directly for this deal, but voted for Brexit. Their bad energy was their undoing. Their, whatever reason they voted for Brexit, whether it was, xenophobia, the, belief that they had nothing to lose, and, therefore, this Brexit deal was anything positive was a massive gain because they had nothing to lose. But the simple fact is, in situations where you think you have nothing to lose, there generally is something to lose. There is something for you to lose. And these companies have not lost their main export market, but have damaged their main export market because of these checks. You know, it's a lot more paperwork and takes a lot more time. And the longer fresh fish stays on, you know, stays within transit, the less in value it becomes, and the less reliable you are as a fish seller for European customers. So these people here obviously thought they were going to, you know, generate more business for their companies, and instead they've done the exact opposite. Their bad energy was their undoing. Yugi, take it away.
Your own attack will be your downfall. I activate Mirror Force!
But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.